You're listening to the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 278 of the OMG Hour, recording live on December 16th, 2017. And I, of course, am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
Good morning, I'm Jeff.
Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Morning is early.
Good morning. It is it's that early.
Chico, Mr. Second Place, half alive.
Forgot to put on my podcasting glasses.
See, that's how early it is.
Yeah,
you forgot your podcasting glasses.
Yes. Good morning. It is early Saturday morning. It's been a busy week. Jeff's trying to drink coffee with a microphone in front of his mouth. That always works.
Jeff can't do this podcast without coffee. This morning.
I got my coffee as well. My new coffee maker. I have a Ninja Kitchen coffee maker, and it is glorious. Let me tell you, so good.
So, what does it do? Is it like all dressed in black, and it like just you're sitting there, and all of a sudden you have a coffee?
All of a sudden, it's just
like, oh, coffee.
That's it.
Because I could use that right now.
Right?
Can you send your Ninja over to just deliver me a stealth coffee?
I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. All right, good morning, gentlemen. Jeff, I notice on our show notes there is nothing listed under your name.
I didn't play anything of note this week. I played all the same stuff. I played Destiny 2. I don't remember how far I got last week, but I finished the Osiris campaign. I've got myself up to like 315, 316 now.
Nice.
And that's pretty much all I played, other than like Switch stuff, but nothing new, nothing that I can enthrall our viewers and listeners with. So,
do you have anything new to say about Destiny that you've been playing it so long, or?
Just that I still really like it. I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2.
Have you received new armor? Like, have you got new like Osiris armor, or?
Yeah, I'm totally kitted out now. So I've got I'm about 50% Mercury vendor armor, and about 50% of the bright engrams. No, they're not called bright engrams. What are they called now? Luminous engram? Yeah.
Illuminated, I think.
Illuminated? I thought it was luminous. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, something like that.
I've got about 50% armor from that too. So I'm looking pretty good right now. I've got a really good weapon kit right now. I've got a really good... if you play far enough into the campaign, you'll eventually get this really killer scout rifle. That's awesome. And it's all it looks really great.
I love scout rifles.
Yeah. I've been mostly playing auto rifles this time. The meta right now is kind of auto rifles. But the scout rifle looks really cool. So I'm using that.
Well, that I can't remember what kind of... It's a new rifle, this game. The one that has just the continuous beam. What's that?
Trace rifle.
A trace rifle. So the trace rifle, the new exotic that is totally overpowered, have they nerfed it yet?
They did.
They did. That thing was so awesome.
You know what, though? The nerf, they said that it was a hefty nerf, but still good.
Yeah?
Still using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was, when I jumped in, I haven't played any of the story yet, but I jumped in and I went and I did just all the public events, right? Mm-hmm. I did so I could get the gear for doing all the public events that day. And I was using that weapon, that trace rifle. I can't remember what it's called offhand, but it was incredible. I mean, I was just mowing down the enemies with this thing. It was so good.
The perk that it has on it is as soon as you kill an enemy with it, a little bit of ammo goes back into the rifle. So if you're clearing out like a big group, you can essentially almost fire until you run out of ammo.
Right.
Because it just keeps reloading itself. It's pretty awesome.
It is an awesome rifle, but it was apparently wreaking havoc in the Crucible.
Yeah,
because there's no defense against it.
A lot lately, so I've still got so much single player content left that I haven't jumped into the Crucible. So I haven't actually seen if it's terrible there or if it's terrible now.
Right, right.
But it's still pretty good for PvE content.
Oh, yeah.
It's still just ripping through guys. So.
Yeah, it really is. It's so awesome. Tico, how about yourself? What did you play this week? I understand you've been sneaking into your neighbor's house late at night.
Yeah, so we were lucky enough. The publisher has has given me a copy of a game called Hello Neighbor. And this game, it's very weird. So you play some kid whose neighbor looks suspicious, so you decide to break into his house. It's sort of like a Rear Window situation at the beginning. You see him, like snuffing somebody out or something like that, and through the window of the house, and so you sneak over, and you have to break into his house and figure out how to get into this locked basement of his. And I was terrible at this. So I played this game for a good hour and a half, and I made it 0 progress.
Really?
I could not figure out what I was supposed to do. It does not give you any tutorial. It doesn't say, oh, by the way, just go here. It doesn't say this button does this.
You figure it all out yourself.
It doesn't even tell you you're supposed to go into the guy's house. You just I got that. It's you're walking down the street. You lose your ball. You go to pick up your ball, and you see this thing happen, and it doesn't tell you anything. Doesn't say go into the guy's house, get the key. I mean, you figure it out because it gives you a prompt, like the keys up in the upstairs bedroom thing, and you have to get it. So, and I finally figured out, okay, you have to climb this ladder thing and go break in through a window in order to get into this room. And we all know how good I am at jumping and landing on platforms.
Yes, yeah, you're like the best.
The best.
The best.
I don't know if you know this, but another Tico fun fact is we call him Mario because he's so good at jumping.
So that took me some time to do. And now it's actually because of the video. I only captured 5 minutes of video for this. And I actually got further than that, and more than 5 minutes past that. So there's none of my horrible jumping in this video.
Oh, excellent.
So
good.
But then once you get into the basement is this big elaborate saw-like rooms of traps and. You just try to get through from one section to the other. It's a very surreal thing. It's a massive basement area that you have to get down, and you have to open doors and get through everything. You're
making an awful lot of noise in this guy's basement. Does he not hear you?
I didn't once I got down to the basement. He caught me 4 billion times going into the house.
Oh,
trying to figure out how to get into this room and search the house and stuff like that, and. And then all of a sudden, you'll make some noise and he'll come running, and I mean, there's no penalty for failing. I mean, basically, if he catches you, you just restart outside the house.
But my understanding is that when he catches you, he then learns where he caught you, and you may not be able to do that again.
He sometimes stays in that same area too, from where you're trying to get in. So you then have to figure out something else. So there's ways to distract him, like you can shut the lights off on the junction box outside the house, and so he'll come out, and then you can run inside the house really quickly. There's spots to hide. So the basement, I was just making noise and bashing stuff all over the place, not thinking he was even down there, but apparently he is.
Oh.
Okay. But you start back at the top of the stairs. You don't get kicked all the way outside. So once you get past the section. You don't have to redo the whole thing. So.
Oh, he doesn't kick you out of the house?
No, he just puts you back at the top of the stairs to the basement, which is...
that's kind of odd.
It's like, oh, you're breaking into my house and going to figure out my nefarious plans.
So what
top of the stairs for you.
Yeah, what are you ultimately trying to do in Hello Neighbor?
I don't know.
Oh, so it literally explains nothing. You don't even know why you're there.
There's no tutorial. There's no... I'm in the house. If you press pause, you can figure out that right bumper is used to pick things up, right trigger is to throw said thing. That's it. That is all of the information they give you. It doesn't say get through this area. It doesn't say go through here. There's TVs and stuff that are on every once in a while that you can watch, but it's all in Polish or something.
I feel like his house is the TARDIS. It's rather large.
It's and that's the thing. Once you get to the basement, it's this huge, massive area too.
It's bigger on the inside.
Seems like a much bigger footprint on the inside in his basement than it is. It's a very interesting, unique game. I am very bad at it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. It doesn't really.
Oh,
yeah, see, there he is. There he is. He caught you. He's like you. To the top of the stairs, and then that's it. and that you're right back to the top of the stairs.
Oh, okay, interesting. So,
It's-
are you going to keep playing this, or is it
I'm
it
gonna
even
keep-
worth? But is it worth picking up?
It doesn't explain what you're supposed to do, which is the thing that I'm confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I know there are sections, like so you could get through the basement to I don't know what's in the next section. I believe there's a whole bunch of kids from your neighborhood that have gone missing, which you sort of get in a little bit of the opening cinematic where there's a bunch of missing posters with kids on them.
Oh.
So I'm guessing I'm supposed to be finding and saving children at some point, but I have not seen any indication of. Like I've seen like toys and stuff in this guy's basement, but I've not figured out where I'm supposed to go. I just imagine I have to.
Have you tried going to sleep and catching him in your dreams?
No, but I
Press
have.
X to sleep.
There's a.
That's right.
Man, I'll have to try that.
Press
Well,
X to sleep.
there is after a number of failures. You go instead of just starting right like the first like 15 times I died, you just start back outside, and then after like that, then it did one of them where I was in some sort of weird mini dreamlike state, and then it pops you back outside. So there's some it's a weird thing that does too. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to do yet. I'm hoping I figure it out, and. I'm interested. It is interesting. I just don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what my final goal is supposed to be.
Fair enough. There's just creepy dolls at doors too. That's
like
seems weird that he would set these things up.
Well, he's a weird guy. He's got a giant basement dug out with like hidden doors and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly. He's got the TARDIS down there.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Well, I did very little gaming this week as well. I finally went back to some Assassin's Creed, continued on with the story of that, and surprisingly enough, I didn't actually touch my Switch this week. So it's like I went from playing the Switch every day, like for 2 weeks straight, to not touching it at all this week. But it has been a crazy busy week. I was hoping to get back into 7, the Days Long Gone, because Jeff wanted to see 8 hours worth of footage last week, and I didn't give it to him. Sorry, Jeff. I didn't play for 8 more hours.
I don't remember that. It's too early for my brain to kick in.
But I did play a new game this week, and this is actually because of the Game Awards last week. So
okay.
One of the, of course, the Game Awards were on after our show, like literally the same night we recorded last week. And so I sat and watched them all. We'll talk about them a bit later. But the game that won both Games for Impact, which is games about issues like social issues, whether it be mental disorders, that sort of thing, or that kind of games for what I say, Games for Impact, and also the game that won for Best Performance, which actually beat out Ashley Birch in for Horizon Zero Dawn, was the game Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is a game I've been very interested in since it released. So I was able to play it again this week thanks to the developer. I actually reached out to the developer to because I have a contact there, and I just reached out to say congratulate them on their win, and she sent me a code to review the game. So I've been playing Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice this week. My goodness, this is a beautiful game.
I've seen
it's really good.
I've seen some stuff on this, and it looks like one of the prettiest games I've seen.
It is a really well-made game. You know, it is to the atmosphere, even the controls, very easy to pick up and just go. Like this is another game that does not hold your hand at all. It doesn't tell you what the controls are. You can press pause and go to the control menu and see what the controls are. But it was one of those games where suddenly you're thrown in a battle and your mind just goes, oh, hit these buttons, and that's the right buttons. Because they've mapped the buttons in such a way that it's just intuitive as a gamer to know what I should be pressing to fight these guys. Now, the game isn't about fighting. There's definitely combat in it. Very fluid, very well done combat. And you have your regular hit, you've got your heavy attack, and then you've got a block or a kick as well.
Okay.
And what's cool about the combat, if I can just talk about that for a second, is that it's not just the same move over and over and over again. It's like they've got 3 or 4 different animations for each type of attack. So that as you're pressing these buttons, almost think of it almost like a button masher, not quite as, dancey as like Batman, for example, right?
Yeah.
As you're pressing the buttons, she's actually doing different moves for the same attack. So it looks fluid on screen. It looks like a fight sequence. It's incredible what they've done that way, So she's not just doing the same heavy attack or the same regular attack all the time. It's different, and it looks incredible. There's some great puzzles in it. A lot of it's really about the story. It's about her traveling through hell to try to save her husband, and to get his soul into Asgard. Sorry, not Asgard. Ragnarok, right? The Viking heaven.
Yeah.
So she's traveling through hell to try to save her husband's soul. But it deals with multiple personality. It deals with these mental issues because throughout the whole thing, this game is actually tells you at the beginning it is best played with headphones. Okay, so I put my headphones on, and sure enough, I can attest that I've played it with headphones and without. You have to play this game with headphones because the surround in it is incredible. You hear voices everywhere. You hear her voices kind of in her head. Talking to each other. What's she doing? Oh, she's gonna die. She's going the wrong way. Turn back, turn back. All these voices in her head as you're playing, and they're coming from everywhere. And when I took my headphones off to listen to it just on regular speakers, it doesn't have the same impact, right? The sound design in this game is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it's very much a linear game. This is just go from point A to point B. There's some puzzles that you have to figure out as you find gates. You have to solve the runes on the gate in order to get through, and the way you solve the rune is by finding that rune's shape somewhere in the environment.
So I'm getting kind of like game structure wise, I'm getting almost kind of like a Lara Croft or Nathan Drake type vibe, where you say it's like linear. There's levels you have to get through, but every once in a while there's puzzles you have to solve.
Right. Yes.
Is that fair to make that comparison? Like combat-wise, no. Character-wise, no. Obviously, but that sort of like
the level structure.
Level structure.
The level structure
is
still very linear. You're still walking paths. Yeah. You're walking paths, and then you get to an area where there might be just imagine just a little bit of an open area that you can explore, because in order to explore it, you have to find the symbols to open the gate, right? So the gate's going to give you 2 or 3 symbols. You have to find that symbol somewhere in the environment. So you're walking around this area, but once you solve it, the door opens and you go through, and then you're on a linear path, right? And then you come across enemies occasionally, and you have to fight them, right? And then of course bosses at the end of each world. So at the when you first start it, you have to get through a major door, but in order to open that door, you have to go into 2 other worlds and defeat those worlds' bosses, those worlds' gods, essentially, in order to open up the other door that you need to go through. So it's literally go from door to door to door through each path. And the story really comes in through the story being told in her head. Right, as she's talking, and as she's talking to other spirits in the world, as they come and kind of guide her through. It is an incredible experience, absolutely incredible. And the combat is what I really like about the combat is they've actually got a mode where the combat is auto scaled to your ability. So if it finds that you're dying a lot, it'll bring the difficulty down a bit for you. So it's like an auto difficulty scaling. But if you're doing really, really well, it's going to increase it a bit to try to challenge you.
Okay. Can I just start at like the lowest?
You put it on auto. No, you can choose, or you can put it on auto level, or auto difficulty.
Okay.
Right. So I've got it on auto difficulty, so it's going to scale to my abilities. And again, this is the game that when you die, if you die, the tendrils on her arm starts growing up towards her head, and when they reach her head, meaning she's gone insane, it's game over. And you started.
Game over, man.
It's game over, man. Game over. Anyway, this game I don't know if it's on sale right now. I think it might be on sale because of the Game Awards, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think the Game Awards sale is over now. Now they're on holiday sale week 1.
That's
at least
true.
on PlayStation.
That's on PlayStation, yeah. And this is a PlayStation game, so.
Oh, I have something I want to say after. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's it. That for me, I highly recommend Hellblade. Fantastic game, super well done. I really wanted to review this when it first came out, and I was unable to get a code then. But I was quite thrilled when they offered a review code when I sent a note last week. So I'm quite happy to be playing this game. Really, really well done, and it's got an amazing, like it's got that creepy factor to it. It's not a horror game per se, but you kind of feel like yeah, I'm in hell here. You know what I mean? The environment is so creepy. The surroundings, the audio design is super well done. Like you feel like you're there, and especially when you're playing with the headphones, you have to play with headphones because the sounds are just everywhere, right? And it sounds like they're talking in your ear, like they're whispering in your ear, and it sounds like it. It's so good, so good.
I did not realize that this game was made by Ninja Theory.
Yes.
Ninja Theory is a really interesting developer because they're kind of like, they have AAA production values, but they're a really small company, so they tend to make really short AAA games. So that's cool, actually. That's really good. Because they also made, Heavenly Sword, which was amazing, and Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which was a commercial failure, unfortunately.
Gosh, I loved Enslaved.
Game.
Yes, really good game. I forgot that they made that game.
Yeah, and just for the record, I don't know if it's on sale or not because the website, this PlayStation Store website's not that great, but it's $39.99. So
that is on sale.
No, that's sale? Normal price.
Is that normal price?
Yeah, 40. Yeah. Hellblade was never a full-priced game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
like I said, their games are usually super short, so $40 that's nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
That probably means it's like $5 American.
Yeah, so highly recommend Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice if you get a chance to play it. Incredible game, and it's beautiful too. Like the audio, the visuals, everything about it is quality, like super good. You know, and I can't even believe even the model of Senua. Just she's so lifelike. It's incredible. Like the quality is unbelievable. So
I can believe that. Now that I know it's Ninja Theory, like. They're a great dev. They're really good.
Yeah, they really are. They're fantastic. So that is. Sorry, did you say something? Want to say something else?
No, are you done? Are you done talking about Hellblade? Because I want to talk about something from last week, like 2 seconds worth.
Yeah, absolutely. I am done with Hellblade.
All right. I just wanted to say, that, Tico, you were right.
I know.
As is usually the case, I went on to the PlayStation Store, and Star Wars Battlefront 2 is already 40% off.
Yes. Yeah. I think the bundle is 50% off, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that maybe I meant?
There was a bundle. I remember seeing that. The $99 bundle, but that doesn't include. That's just a bunch of stuff.
Right.
It's not the bundle with the season pass.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's it went on sale. I want to say like almost a week after release. When they
$45 now.
Yeah. When they started having all the problems with the loot box issue and all the controversy, it dropped in price.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was immediate.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no point in buying an EA title right now. It's going to either be 50% off or in the vault and free within a short period of time. So just, save your money and, just grab it later.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And speaking of the vault, I thought I had canceled my EA Access membership. I got an email yesterday saying it's been renewed automatically. It's like,
another year?
Another year. I wasn't going to renew it because I don't use it. And it's like, there goes another $35. Thanks, Microsoft. So
you never know. Maybe EA will release a game worth playing in the next year.
Tico, did you just lose all your light?
Yeah, so this is one of the problems with having the Google Home and Philips Hue lighting set up. I have a daughter that can talk to the entire house all at once and has decided to turn off my lights.
Excellent. Nicely done, Leah.
The worst part is when she gets up at 6 in the morning and goes downstairs and tells it to turn on the lights in the family room, but doesn't specify family room, and it turns on the lights in our bedroom and every other room in the house.
Well, that's your fault for setting that up.
My fault for having a child.
Right? Gosh.
Fair enough. All right, gents, that is it for the games we played. Let's move on to the stuff.
OMG.
Of course, as we mentioned, last week was the Game Awards, and figured we could talk about it for a bit. Let's talk about the Game Awards. Did you both watch it?
I did.
The whole thing?
Some of it.
Start to finish?
I saw most of it. There was some parts where idiots started talking,
Oh my
and I had
gosh.
to mute it. The lows were, as is typical, I would say, just as low. But overall,
It was quality.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thought they did a good job.
They really stepped it up, almost like, I want to say Oscar-worthy kind of a setup. Like, they really made it very professional looking and really well done. They had an orchestra there, playing live, which was awesome. And everything was done very much like the Oscars. You know, very professional. Instead of being almost like just silly and stupid, like it has been in years past. You know?
Yeah, I turned it off after the trending gamer stuff because I was very upset.
Because you didn't win. I know, right?
I did.
That was right at the beginning.
Apparently, I know. No, I ran into some buffering issues with it, so I tried to watch it and had some issues, and it just would not.
What were you watching?
It's not watchable. Computer.
No, but
I actually...
duh.
YouTube. YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I was watching on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
I
I
watched through Steam.
hit buffering and it was bad.
They said at the beginning that if you watch through Steam, they'll give you free games. And I was like, oh, okay, no problem. I'll go watch through Steam.
Yeah, they're doing the same on Twitch. If you played through Twitch, you got free games. Did you get anything?
No, I didn't get anything.
Well, what were they talking about then?
Well, you had to. It was every 15 minutes they were going to pick like 100 people.
Oh, it was a chance to win.
Yeah.
It's the way they worded it. It sounded like if you're watching on this platform, you're gonna get free stuff.
Yeah.
Right, no,
They've done that in the past. Microsoft did that last year for E3. If you watched it on their
Beam or whatever
Beam,
they called it.
Yeah, if you watched it on Beam, they basically sent you codes for a bunch of stuff that you already owned.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I want to say there's a couple of highlights that really stood out to me. Now, you know, a week after watching it now, 2 things really stood out to me. One, Bethesda's single player campaign was incredible. They created a video that was like save the single player campaign, and it was with Linda Carter. You know, I love how she introduced herself. You may remember me from such things as Lounge Singer in Fallout 4. Or some other thing, like a woman of wonder or something. A wonderful woman, she said. So, that was incredible. I can't believe, like, they came up with that so quickly. Because wasn't it, like, a week earlier we were talking about how EA doesn't like the single-player experience, and everyone was talking about how the single-player experience is dead. And then Bethesda comes out with this video for the Game Awards. It was awesome, and it was just incredible. Thank you, Bethesda. Now, you know, stop charging us full price for 6-year-old games. That'd be great. Thanks.
Well, that's how they're going to save single player, is by re-releasing the same single player game 400 times
on different platforms. Yes.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm still waiting for the beer bottle edition of Skyrim. Just saying.
I think they have to release single player games because they're not very good at making multiplayer games.
Have they ever made a multiplayer game?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, right. Of course. Yes. Duh. Well, that's still going, though. I mean, they just released Morrowind for it, right?
Yeah, no, it's still going. Honestly, I wouldn't be totally against going back and checking it out again, and seeing if it got any better. You know, because I know that they changed a lot of stuff about it. But we don't need to talk about freaking Elder Scrolls Online right now. We have so little time and so much to talk about. So yes.
And then, of course, the second thing that stood out to me was the director of A Way Out. He was brought up to talk about his game. And he ended up basically saying, F the Oscars, And he just went on this rant about how great this show was, the Game Awards, F the Oscars, this is way better, I'm so honored to be here, I'm so excited. And then he starts talking about EA and how developers screw up, and he started basically defending EA for the loot box scandals and stuff. And he kept talking, and he was on this major... It was embarrassing, actually, to watch.
I muted him after a few minutes.
I felt embarrassed for Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley was trying to get him back on track. This guy was every host's worst nightmare. He talked and talked and talked, but said nothing.
Yeah.
And he said nothing about his game in which he was brought up to talk about.
Which game was he again?
No Way Out, the co-op.
A Way Out.
A Way Out, yeah. Sorry, it's called A Way Out, and he was brought up to talk about one specific thing because they had a trailer for the game, and they were announcing that A Way Out it's a co-op game that you play with a friend, and if you buy the game, you can actually invite a friend who doesn't have the game. They can download it in order to play with you. So you can give them a key to download the game, and you can play co-op. So only one of you has to buy it. I
think the online co-op stuff was probably a good addition, because I remember the first time we talked about this game, it was probably a year ago.
Yeah.
It was couch co-op only.
Yes.
And mandatory, too.
And mandatory, yeah.
You have to have a friend.
Oh, it is.
Play this way.
It still is.
No, now there's online co-op, isn't there?
No.
Yeah, but originally it was couch co-op, and you had to have somebody playing with you. There was no...
Yeah. It's still mandatory co-op, but now you can play online.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And what I like about it is you don't have to both buy it.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I mean, they're not going to make any money, but, kudos to them for trying to be socialists.
It's not a full-price game either. I checked out the pre-order for it, which came available. It's a $39 game as well.
No, that's pretty good.
Oh, so you buy it with a friend, you pay $20 each, and you play it.
Yeah. Good deal.
Excellent. What kind of stood out to you guys? Jeff, I know one thing that stood out to you. You were
really?
Yeah, as we were chatting, you were like so excited when they announced Vacation Simulator.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's I'm looking really forward to that. I mean, Job Simulator was one of my standout PlayStation VR launch titles, and to get more of that, oh man, I can't wait. It's such a fun. It's a stupid game. I mean, the thing about Job Simulator is like you're gonna play it once. It's gonna take you a couple hours, and then you'll pretty much be done with it. There's no really reason to go back to it. But if they add some more scenarios, I would have also probably been happy with just some DLC. I would have bought and played that too. But a full new Vacation Simulator game for sure. Yeah. Super funny games. Like they're just really entertaining. You know.
It takes place in the future when all humans are gone, right? And it's all robots trying to...
Not necessarily all humans are gone. They don't really specify it. The lore is not, Tolkien quality.
What?
But robots have certainly taken over. And it's almost like a GLaDOS situation where we're doing testing for them or something. It's weird, yeah.
And they're trying to recreate what life was like in the 20th century.
Yeah.
Or 21st century, yeah. So
it's great. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Job Simulator has been on my wish list since you played it, waiting for it because I think originally it was $40. I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for the.
I wouldn't pay $40 for it either. I mean, I did, but
I think it may have come down in price, but it's never actually gone on sale.
I have the PlayStation Store open. I'll tell you exactly.
Yeah. Like, what is your number? What's your number for that game, Sean?
I honestly...
It's like $10, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. Probably 10.
It's still $27, which is a little high for what it is.
I think 10 to 12, somewhere around the $10 to $15 mark, it might be where I pick it up. I did pick up, however... we'll talk about this later, because we're going to talk about the PlayStation experience a bit, and they announced something as well. So of course the game of the year went to Breath of the Wild. I don't think there's any surprise in that. I do want to say though, I was actually really surprised and kind of sad that Horizon Zero Dawn had no love at the Game Awards at all.
Yeah.
Right? They were nominated for several, like 5, 6, I want to say, nominations.
Yep.
And didn't get any of them. Which honestly surprised me that none of them went to Horizon. One of them went to, I can't remember what it was. I think even one of them went to PUBG.
PUBG is a monster of a game, man.
I know it is.
I know that we're not playing it because it's not on PlayStation. It went live on Xbox.
Yes.
What, like 2 days ago, and it's already got more than 1 million people playing.
Oh, I know. I know. It's crazy.
It's a monster of a game. Like, it's insane. So I'm not surprised that it's. I mean, I wouldn't say it cleaned up. I would even say that it's. It is not really award-winning in any category. I mean, it's not great graphics, it's not great writing, it's not great.
No.
You know, it steals a lot of stuff from a lot of other games that came before it. But it is apparently super, super fun. Everybody that I know that plays it absolutely loves it.
Yeah. I want to say something about PUBG. I was watching a video the other day about the difference between the Xbox One version and the Xbox One X version. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Graphically. And I'm looking at this video, and yes, I expect the Xbox One X to visually look different, but it was a drastic difference, almost to the point...
Oh, yeah.
It was to the point where there is no way the original Xbox can't do what you're showing me on the X. Because, like, it's just in sort of the environment itself. Like, so Xbox One X had a field of grass. Xbox One had sparse grass and just plain dirt in between. Like, okay, no.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry, but there's no way the original Xbox cannot do what you're showing me on the Xbox One X.
Basic grass.
And my mind was thinking, is this what they're going to do now? Are they going to deliberately downgrade your launch Xbox to make you want to upgrade? Because they're giving us graphics now that I've already seen better on the Xbox. And now they're telling me, oh, it can't handle that, so you need to upgrade to the Xbox One X. No. I know the Xbox can do this. I've seen it.
Keep in mind, the Xbox One, the launch one, isn't even as powerful as a PlayStation 4. So it's not like it's super powerful. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the graphics comparison, but it would absolutely make sense in my mind for Microsoft to do something to downgrade a game to make it look better on an Xbox One X, especially a game like PUBG, because they want to move those units and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it evil? Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe, but it's, you know, in the grand scheme of Microsoft's business practices, and don't get me wrong, I love Microsoft and I'm a really big fan of theirs, but in the grand scheme of everything they have ever done across the entire spectrum of since their conception way back in the 70s, this is not that evil. Like, it doesn't even really rate up to the stuff back in the the late 90s when they were getting torn apart by the SEC, you know.
But this is all I can think of is, oh great, you know, I haven't upgraded my Xbox One at all. I don't have an S, I don't have an X. I have a launch day Xbox. Okay. And I'm thinking, oh great, is this what the Xbox One original games are going to look like now? They're going to deliberately downgrade them to look worse than what it can actually do to make you want to upgrade.
But, well, I mean, it's going to happen regardless to all platforms eventually. Like, eventually, you know, the PlayStation 4 Pro games are going to start to look way, way better. I mean, they look a little bit better now, but you know, you'll have to get like, I'm in the same boat as you, right? I have that original launch Xbox One. Yeah. And you know, it's going to have to get replaced eventually, just like we replaced our 360s, just like we replaced our PlayStation 3s and stuff.
It just feels like, you know, they keep talking about how it's going to be every game will work on all, you know, every iteration. I'm like,
I've never believed that. Never believed that.
But you're deliberately...
At least it still works. I mean, if anybody here has an iPhone, you know that every time they send an update through, that it makes your iPhone run like garbage.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Just so you'll upgrade.
10% slower again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, planned obsolescence is a thing, and this is.
And Microsoft is in. Yeah, they're in on the game.
Yes. Is it abnormal? No.
You know, Apple's done it, which means Microsoft's going to copy it. That's how it works.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, they're building obsolescence into the original Xbox. So eventually, if you have an original Xbox, your games just will look like crap, even if they could look better on the same console. That's just where I feel like it's going, you know. And I just realized I haven't been watching the chat on YouTube. So if anybody's there chatting with us, I'm sorry, I did not notice.
Somebody else got up this early?
Our listeners are not up this early.
Yeah, they're probably not. Actually, Brian Young is here, Juggler of Geese. Hello, Brian.
No way.
Yeah, he's watching.
Brian, you are a trooper.
Yes. My apologies for not noticing you were there until now.
I'm saying hello. Good morning.
Okay. All right. Anything else stick out to you guys about the Game Awards? I was really impressed. I thought I was going to jump. I thought we were going to be hammering it this week, because it's been really silly and kind of stupid.
It was a huge step up from what they presented last year.
Yes.
I mean, there's still some pieces of it that didn't feel, like a high-end game show, like award show, but a huge step
Chickman
up.
wasn't there. Chickman was not there.
No, Shickhead.
Wasn't there.
Shickhead was not there.
There was no. The only thing I would say is there was no game trailer that I saw that I was like,
No.
oh,
Right?
I need that.
The game announcements. I mean, there's some cool stuff. There's stuff that I'll play, but there's nothing that jumped out. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe they finally announced that.
Right.
Yeah.
There were no shocking world premieres. All the things said world premiere, and yet what was confusing to me is the world premiere videos were of games we've already known about. So how are they world premieres? Is it a world premiere?
I've seen that particular trailer.
video. Yeah. Can we talk about the Death Stranding trailer for a minute? Does
okay.
that what do you make of this?
The babies?
What do you make of this?
I'm not gonna play it. Like, I can tell like right away. I'm like, this is not a game for me.
But I don't even know what it is, though. What is it?
I don't know.
I think that's the thing, is that if you know what it is, you're not going to be as interested. So they want it to be as weird as possible. So you
there has been articles that sort of go in depth and explain what the game is about. I just don't care. I think the only game that I thought was remotely interesting was Witchfire, to be honest.
Witchfire looked interesting.
Witchfire. Which game was Witchfire? Remind me.
The one about the witches
and the fire.
From the team behind the
Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was the other game. It was like
yes,
other game in there.
Yes, the Vanishing of Ethan Carter,
and it was like gothic.
Yeah,
it's like shooter. Like Bloodborne, the shooter.
Yes, yeah, it looked good. That one looked interesting. Soul Calibur 6, that excited me. I love Soul Calibur. That is that is one fighting game that I really got into on 360 with Soul Calibur 4. Absolutely loved it. Had a great time.
I was into Soul Calibur on Soul Calibur 2 on my Dreamcast. I've played every Soul Calibur since. And the only thing that I find now is that as I mature in age, I can no longer play those fighting games without my forearms completely cramping up.
Oh.
So as much as I would be excited to, play a Soul Calibur game again, because I do, I played the hell out of all the other ones. Like Soul Calibur 2 and Soul Calibur 3 are probably my favorites. Soul Calibur 2 will always be, I think, my absolute favorite Soul Calibur because of the fun memories of that game. But I just can't do it anymore. I can't sit down and play that game for an hour without my hands going, yeah, just so you know, you're getting old, loser. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to die soon. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. No, I mean, I'll probably pick up Soul Calibur 6. I enjoyed and Aria loves fighting games as well. So she was there watching with me when they announced Soul Calibur 6, and she says, "Oh yay, another game I can beat you at." Because she's actually really good at fighting games. She loves the fighting games. So I guess that's the Game Awards. I was really impressed. I can only just imagine it just getting better every year as Jeff gets a little more comfortable doing it, and trying to figure out what's involved in making a high-quality show. It took 4 years to get here.
The only thing that I would really change is to give Jeff Keighley a gun that he could just use to take out stupid guests.
Right?
Other than that...
Those big, long hooks.
Yeah, yes. Other than that, I don't know what I would have changed. It was good. It was pro. Yeah. I liked it. It was just a few of the people that he had on just went off the rails a little bit, and he just needed a way to put a bullet between their eyes. That's it.
F the Oscars guy.
Yeah.
I have to say before we move on, I just loved, you could see Jeff Keighley getting so annoyed at him, trying to get him along to say what he came there to say. And then finally he says, "Okay, let's get to the trailer. We can talk after." And Keeley's like, "No, we can't." And then just move on. No, we can't. Play the trailer. It's okay. My gosh. I want to know what happened behind the scenes after that. Because that was ridiculous. I felt so embarrassed for Jeff. Really.
Let's put it this way: that guy's not coming on next year.
No,
No.
no, he's not.
Well, it's 2 years in a row with terrible presentations, though, from EA at the thing. Remember they did the Need for Speed guy who
That was
forgot
high.
about the game?
Yeah,
He was clearly high and didn't
Oh, yeah.
know what game he was supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, yeah, no. All right. Last weekend, of course, was the PlayStation Experience as well. Did either of you see anything from PlayStation Experience?
No, I
Nothing.
didn't. I was
Sean, tell us all about
completely
it.
unavailable, so I don't know anything what happened. I mean, I heard nothing about it, which kind of has me worried that there was nothing really amazing announced.
And that's the problem. I've actually
Okay,
been trying to
that's what
find news about what happened and what was announced, and I watched the 2-hour opening ceremonies, which was it was a stage full of chairs and couches, and they had guests come out. The curator of the PlayStation blog was hosting, and he basically brought out developers to talk about games. Eventually, Hideo Kojima came out, and he was interviewed by Mark Cerny. And of course, they had a translator there to translate for him. Oh, with Andrew House. So Andrew and Hideo Kojima came out. Mark Cerny interviewed Hideo about Death Stranding, or mostly about a lot of it was about the history with Andrew House and Hideo, because they've had a lot of history together, the two of them. So that was an interesting interview. It got a little bit awkward at one point where Mark Cerny asked Hideo about what was the inspiration behind Death Stranding. So I wanted to get a little history. And Hideo just basically talked about the trailer we just saw. And then Mark Cerny tried to ask the question again. And I don't know if the translator didn't translate properly or just... I don't know what happened, but Mark Cerny says, "It's okay, we can skip that one." So we never got an answer to that question. Mark Cerny looked a little out of place, to be honest with you, trying to interview Hideo.
He's not the guy that I would go to and be like, you know who our best interviewing option is?
Right?
We should get
Mark Cerny.
Mark Cerny to do the interviews.
Yeah.
He's super brilliant. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love watching him talk because you're like, it's almost like looking into another dimension. That's how freaking smart he is, you know?
Yes,
Just like,
right?
oh, this is how people could be if we were as smart as Mark Cerny. Because he's so like calm and peaceful, and he's like,
Right?
Mega Jegaflops are going to interact with the blah blah blah. And by the way, I also made my own video game. Oh, I'm so smart.
Well,
but also kind of calm and peaceful, and like, let's do some yoga.
Mark Cerny is a great guy to interview. I have interviewed Mark Cerny.
Yeah, no, I know you have.
Right?
Yeah.
So Sid and I both interviewed Mark Cerny for our show for
He'd be
Lost
good
Treasures.
That side of the couch.
Yes, not the other side.
Not the other side.
So really, the whole opening ceremony was more trailers of games, and then just talking with the developer of the game. The only game that gave me personally a little more idea of what it is Media Molecule's Dreams, which is a game I've known nothing about till now, but it is basically it's a new version of Little Big Planet, but with a lot more power. So Dreams is another game creation tool. You'll be able to make any kind of game you want with it on your PlayStation. I don't know how, I don't know like the tools, but apparently you can make an RPG, you could make a racer, you could make a platformer. Like you can make whatever you want with Dreams. And that's basically what kind of... And then share it, of course, right? And download things other people have played. These games, in my opinion, have never been super, super popular. Like, people play around with them and make a couple of little things, but you never get anything grand out of them.
Well, here's the thing, is that if you go and play Little Big Planet 3 right now, you're going to find some pretty amazing stuff in there. But the people that make this stuff is not people like us.
No.
Because it's almost like, it's like doing anything else, right? You have to learn it, and it's going to take time. And it's like, I would rather sit down and learn Unity or Unreal Engine and do games like that than I would to do this, because I'm a grown up and I can go and learn to code in those languages and stuff like that. Like, it's for us, I mean, for you and me particularly, Sean, it's not that far off of what we do in our normal day. So that my aspirations are a little bit bigger, but my kids, well, my ex stepkids, would spend hours and hours and hours and hours and
Right.
hours, like, 40 hours a week inside of Little Big Planet trying to pull all this stuff up, just like they do it in Minecraft. I'm watching Oliver, like, oh, Daddy, come check out this thing I built. And he pushes a button and a house is automatically built out of the ground. Like, and he did all this, like,
What?
programming
What?
with Minecraft blocks, right?
What?
So it's like, bop, 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 bop. I'm like, what the, how did you even do that?
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
So kids will do that kind of stuff, but grown-ups with full-time jobs, we're not going to do that. So
Well, that's just it. It takes so long to build something in a game like that, right?
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of finicky. And now they did show how the creation tool in action, and it looked pretty slick.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
It looked
the
really
creation
slick.
tool in Little Big Planet was amazingly slick. I'm like, wow, that's actually really smart. They've got really smart ways of, like, taking programming terms and putting them inside of a game as, like, a physical, like, can, And
Yeah. No, but even building the level, they showed building a level and just
cool.
copy. Like, you have a mountainside, basically like a cliff, and then they just copy and paste and moving and twisting and turning. And they kind of created this big, huge mountain range, and it actually looked really good. But it was literally using one asset. Right, and the asset would go, like, it would clip inside itself, so you'd only see pieces of it sticking out. But it would, to the point where it didn't look like one asset copied 100 times. Really what? Like, yeah, it looked really neat. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool. But again, it's time, and how long is it going to take to learn something like that? I don't have that time.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was, I didn't find anything else about PlayStation Experience. I don't feel like there was anything huge announced. They showed the Hideo Kojima Death Stranding video again, which I had just seen a day before at the Game Awards.
People are very excited about that game, but
I know.
I don't know.
I don't understand why. I don't like who. Yeah, okay, cool. It's a funky video. Like,
I think the people that like that are like the people who more grew up on the Hideo Kojima Konami games.
I guess.
And they're like, but as a guy that's never played one of his games before ever, I'm just looking at that and going, that's a little weird.
What is it? All I want to know is what is the game itself. All you've ever shown us is a video, a pre-rendered video.
Yeah.
It's just basically a naked Norman Reedus walking around. That's pretty much the whole game.
Well, he wasn't naked in this one.
No, he had a baby strapped to him eventually. Weird.
That doesn't make it better.
Wow.
That doesn't make it any less odd.
He just needs a bow and arrow. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
that's Walking Dead. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, that was the PlayStation Experience. Jeff, I think Nintendo is going to prove you wrong.
What?
So far, Nintendo has now surpassed 10 million Switch units sold.
Hold on, I'm never wrong. Let me spin this in a way that makes me look good. What are we talking about? What did I say that makes me wrong?
Back in March, we talked about their goal of selling 13 or 14 million units by March of 2018. And you're like, no way, that's crazy.
Did I say that? I don't remember saying.
That's crazy.
Give me the episode number.
I will find it for you. But you said it was crazy.
236.
You might not be far
Hey,
off.
okay, well,
But they've already surpassed 10 million, and it's not even the end of the year. Wait till we get the Christmas numbers.
the Christmas numbers are going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so a lot of people so what did I say, 10 and I said no way 14 by March?
Yes.
3 months, 14 million? Maybe. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're
I still think I may have a chance of winning that bet.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I was in EB Games the other day, and I was talking to the store manager, and I was asking him how sales were and stuff like that, and he was like, you know what, sales are dead. And he's like, it's changed. Now that we're doing Black Friday sales, people don't come in to do holiday shopping in December anymore. Now they're all doing all their holiday shopping on one day.
On one day, yeah.
And he's like, and he was telling me that Mario didn't really move any Switches. Everybody who wanted Mario already had a Switch. Like, Nintendo thought apparently that Mario was going to be a big system seller, and he was like, yeah, maybe a little, but not too much, So I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking. I mean, it's still a week to go until Christmas, but yeah. I mean, 4 million units. That's a lot of units to sell.
Yeah, but I still think they can do it. We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
10 million. That's really good though for what, 9 months? 10 million?
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's incredible.
And it comes down to just having stock available. People will buy it if it's available.
Yeah. I'm still seeing lots of Switches everywhere right now. Like, there's no issues. If you want a Switch, you can go get a Switch. It's not even a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, I did actually play. You know what I did this week? I did that thing where you take the Switch and you take the Joy-Cons off and you put it on the table, and then I played multiplayer Mario Kart.
Nice.
Yeah, I did
worked
that.
Well?
It worked great, actually. I bought these little steering wheels, these little baby steering wheel things.
Nice.
And I put the Switch controllers in, and it actually makes it almost like a normal joystick. And then the person I was playing with was using it as like an actual like steering wheel, and then I was using the thumbsticks. Works really well. That's a really good system. It really, really is.
Okay. 2 more things, but we need to make sure we're on time this week. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Destiny 2. So, remember last week I mentioned that they've content locked people out, right? 3 months after release. And Jeff, you're like, yeah, that's normal, blah, 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 don't worry about it. Bungie does it all the time. Well, Bungie looked at it and said, oh, you know what? You're right, Sean. They actually watched our episode and said, man, that Sean guy, he's smart. And they're now apologizing for content locking people out of content.
Here's
with the
the thing that I
Osiris.
didn't realize. They do content lock all the time. And they did, and that's still true. But what I didn't realize was that some of the stuff that they content locked on in Destiny 1 was stuff that was not in the core game.
Right.
So now what they've realized is, we actually shipped this game with Trials in it. So we can't really lock people out of Trials.
And the Leviathan raid.
Well, you were never locked out of the Leviathan raid. You were only locked out of the Prestige Leviathan raid.
No, because they raised the Leviathan level requirement to a level you can't get to without the DLC.
Without the DLC.
It was originally a 270 light level. They raised it to something like 310.
Oh. Well,
which you can't get to without
game expansion. No, okay, you're right, fine.
See?
God, in 2 episodes. This is terrible.
This is the one where Jeff is wrong. The one where Jeff was wrong.
That is never wrong.
And I will point out, I was right.
Oh,
Jeff was wrong, and I was right this episode.
I am never wrong. Plus, I never said that they weren't going to fix it. I was just saying that you kind of got to get used to stuff being locked out. I mean, there's content that happened in Destiny 1 that is never coming back, and you'll never get to play it. All the stuff that was like, you know, when like the wolf pack was like driving around on all the different planets, and like the wolf pack is approaching, and then this crazy thing happens, or when the hive would like invade all sorts of areas that they had no business invading. Like, all that stuff only happened during that particular, I don't know, they didn't call it seasons back then, but we'll call it seasons for now for sake of argument, and that'll never happen again. So you had to like buy the expansions and play them as everything was happening, right?
But those were new. Those were new that came with the DLC. Yes.
God.
Shut. You're just wrong, Jeff. Deal with it.
Not wrong. You just need to pay more attention to the intricacies of what I'm saying and read between the lines.
Gotcha.
Can we just move it on, Sean, please?
Yes. Okay, fine. I wanna do an update from last week's Polygon top 10 games. Okay, so last week we talked about Wolfenstein was 10, everything was 9, and Horizon was 8. And we're like, well, what's better than Horizon? Well, we found out last week that Prey apparently is better than Horizon.
That game was not great. I don't know what these guys are smoking.
Okay.
But it's potent.
So we were thinking, well, what 7 games better than Horizon? Okay, well, here it is. Number 6 was Persona 5.
I never played it.
Number 5 was Resident Evil 7. That was one of the games I thought might be in there. Number 4, Nier Automata, which everybody loves apparently. I don't know. Number 3, Super Mario Odyssey, another game I said would probably be there. Yeah. Number 2 game, better than all of these games on the list, PUBG.
I'm telling you, man, the game's a monster. People freaking love that game.
I know, but is it really a... I don't... Whatever. Number 1, no surprise, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
No surprise whatsoever.
I was right in one way. I knew there was going to be some sort of obscure indie game. That's what I said. I'm like, there's going to be some sort of obscure indie game. It's not an obscure indie game. It's a madly popular indie game. But PUBG is the indie game. I knew that they were going to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Prey was dumb. Persona 5, I've never played it, but it looks dumb. Resident Evil 7, I don't care about because it's got zombies. Near Automata,
Actually,
Tomato.
Resident Evil 7 isn't zombies this time.
No, it's hill folk.
It's a crazy people.
Oh, right. Still, I don't care. Near Auto Tomato, I've heard is really good, but it just doesn't look like a game that I'm going to play.
I
Super
think
Mario Odyssey.
made it better.
I
They
think
need tomato DLC.
That's right.
I think Mario games are overrated. I don't think any of them are particularly great, and that's just me. And PUBG is super multiplayer. I'll never play it. Plus, I don't have a gaming PC. So,
and Legend of
I don't want to
Zelda
play without grass.
Legend of Zelda will clean up any year it comes out, I think.
Yeah, I mean, again, I have a Switch. I'm like the one guy that bought a Switch that has no interest in playing Legend of Zelda. So, this list going to be very different from like my top 10 list for the year.
Which, by the way, is next week.
Absolutely, it is.
Yes. So, everybody, tell us what your top games are for 2017. You can send us an email to theomgr@gmail.com. You can send us a video. You can send us audio. Whatever you'd like. Send us something on Twitter.
They have that.
It is next week, next Wednesday. We're going to be recording live next Wednesday. Our final year-end show where we're going to talk about all of our favorite games from 2017. So send us it in. Send however you want. Text, Twitter, email. Send us a video, send us audio, whatever you'd like. We'll get you on the show. And that is it for episode 278. I need to run. I've got something going on in 40 minutes.
Go.
So
we're 3 minutes behind schedule. Go.
Yeah. So I am Ziantane. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And Ziantane is Xiantayne.
I'm Jeff. You can follow me on Twitter at Sinix, SINNIX. You can get all the show notes on omgnexus.com. Of course, you can follow this show on Twitter at the OMG Nexus. Oh, wait, no. You can follow the website on Twitter at OMG Nexus. And then you can follow this show, which is at the OMG Hour.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next Wednesday for our final show of the year. Have a great week.
Good night, everybody. I mean, good morning, everybody. Have a great day.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.